I have actually never seen a more perfect personification of a cash grab. A cash-in. Something that doesn't respect its license, doesn't give a shit, uses it as a thin veneer.
You talking about the movie or the game there, Joe? And oh, even more, as in...
Oh boy!
I get to rip Activision a new one, which I love doing oh so much because Activision is the worst AAA company of them all. And you know, this was a request, so clearly some of you must have known how bad this is. Because that's the thing, no one ever comments to review a good game ever. They always find a really bad game, then comment about that one and request that one. It's like Yahtzee said.
Thrown an unwanted child into a pen with a scary dog. Oh, I see. No one wants me around when the new Call of Duty is training you to ignore yet another quality recognition instinct, but the moment something comes along that offends what few atrophied taste buds you have left, then suddenly I'm your personal attack gopher. Well, how do you know I don't actually really like Colonial Marines? I don't. It's fucking atrocious, but you'd have looked pretty silly if I had, wouldn't you?
Yeah. So how do you know that I don't like Ghostbusters 2016? I don't. It's one of the worst games I've ever played this year. From the new worst AAA company now that Konami has left to just go make shitty pachinko machines. And before anyone says, "Oh, Spyro, you're just a sexist feminist dragon." No. Here is the opening cutscene. It has 2 males and 2 females. So there are both genders, so we are on fully equal grounds, so both genders are equally to blame. And to be honest, I couldn't give a shit about the movie. Never seen it, and I don't really care one way or the other about its female cast. I'm more into the game industry and a game critic, so this game will be judged off of its own merits and not the movie counterpart. But for now, let's get into this god-awful train wreck. First off, the cutscenes themselves. You thought Mighty Number 9 was bad? Then baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Pretty much every single cutscene takes place on this screen with the 2 pictures reading over their lazy ass dialogue just to set up the next mission. You could have easily dropped them parts out of the game. But you know, then it would have even been less of a game than it already is. And when there is animated cutscenes, well, again, you thought Mighty Number 9 was a cringe fest. Whoo baby, this takes it to a whole new level, and I don't even think a Pyrocynical video could handle the cringe. Every single line is nothing but a cringy joke or pun of a word. And it's not intermediate. I mean, here is the first cutscene. Just watch this if you can.
Still out there making supernatural herstory.
Herstory.
Holy trap.
Holy trap. Selfie. 3 fucking lines, and every one had a cringy ass pun or outdated meme in it, and it never stops.
When you gonna call?
Guys, turn on the news, quick! There's something strange right here in the neighborhood.
Get it? Get it? Do you get it? It's funny because it's a reference to the song. Do you get it? Have we hammered the joke of it being in the song when they sung those lines, but it's out of context, but it was in the song. Do you get it? Speaking of the song, I hope you like it, as it's the only thing that will ever play on a constant, never-ending, soul-crushing loop. In full cutscenes. In half cutscenes.
These might be friendly.
Gertrude Aldrich has returned.
Gertrude Aldrich? She's the worst. Not even Aaron and Abby could catch her.
In loading screens. On the map.
If you're seeing things.
In the menus. It never stops. It never stops. It's like the original one on the NES.
Now for music, you got the Ghostbusters theme song, which sounds like a decent 8-bit rendition, but there's one problem. It's the only song in the whole game, and it never, ever stops. It starts playing from the first screen all the way to the end of the game. It drones over you, makes your brain go numb, and then when it gets to the end of the song, it pauses for a second, then it loops again. So you better get used to it. But let me tell you, that 1 second when the music stops, it feels so satisfying to hear dead silence, even for just one brief moment, to put your mind at peace.
I could not have put it better myself, nerd. At this point, I'm expecting congratulation at the end of the game. Speaking of the NES game, it must have been Activision's goal to make it just as shit and as boring as its original NES counterpart. It is beyond repetitive. So the basic rundown is you're called to a level and you're dropped into a top-down environment and you move through the environment catching hordes of ghosts, and they give you money to buy upgrades like faster cooldowns, more beam damage, as the ghosts have a shit ton of health, and so on. And after a long-ass slog through a boring, uninspired level, you return to Ghostbusters HQ to get your next mission. Rinse and repeat at infinitum, all the while hearing... Now, let's play Jinx and do a little bit of a reaction video, but unlike him, we're going to spin through some footage for you to get an idea of how repetitive this game is. Here is Dark Side Phil's channel. Say what you want about the man and whether he's good or bad, but we're not here for that. We are here because, as to date, Phil has gotten the furthest through the game with 7 whole parts, and we're going to skip randomly to random parts on all 7 videos. Okay, so here we are on Dark Side Phil's channel. We're going to press play, and as I just stated, we're going to go through all 7 parts really quickly and spin through each one of his videos just to show the repetitiveness. So we're on the first part right now. We're going to just skip through the cutscene because we've already seen the cutscene. So we're going to skip to, we'll try 12 minutes. And as you can see, he's just got an upgrade to the Proton Pack. Probably a bit of a bad point to skip to, but here we go. So we're walking through a mansion, or he is walking through a mansion, and we're going to fight some ghosts in a moment. So we're walking into a room because these corridors don't have any ghosts in, but when you get into a big main room like this is where all the fighting kind of takes place. Sometimes apparently that door just opened, but regardless, we're on a top-down thing and we're just kind of shooting around looking for ghosts. So that's at 12 minutes in. Let's just skip to near the end of this video. Okay, well, that's the loading scene, but here we are later on, just doing the same thing, top down, shooting at the ghosts. We get a bit of upgrades and we get sent to our next mission. So I think he's doing 1 mission per video here, but we'll spin on. So again, top down perspective, and we'll just get through this opening cutscene, and here we are walking around, still shooting our gun at the ghosts, being very repetitive right now. We'll spin from 2 minutes to about 7 minutes. Oh look, same thing, just top down, shooting the ghosts. Let's spin on again to about 12 minutes, and it's the same thing. Oh my word. Spin on again to near the end, and yeah, it's the same thing. Let's click to part 3 because I want to keep this train moving. And we're still in the graveyard, still running around, getting ready to shoot things. We'll put it at about 4 minutes. There's the same gameplay, just top down, shoot the ghosts. Let's go a little bit further. Let's try 10 minutes on this video. No, it's still the same. Still shooting them ghosts. How about 18 minutes? That seems like a long time. Oh, nope, still looking for and shooting the ghosts. Sometimes they are hidden, by the way, and you do have to scout them out with the PKE meter. So the PKE meter is, as you can see now, flashing, and there is a symbol which means we have located the hidden ghosts. So yeah, but we'll spin on to the next video. Again, try and keep this on the roll here because I don't want it to drag on for too long. We're already at 2.5 minutes. But yeah, 4 minutes. Oh, still shooting them ghosts. So yeah, oh, they've actually captured one on the beam. It's got a lot of health, as you can see. I'm going to bring this up in a moment, but you can see there they are constantly shooting it. The health bar is above it, and it's taken quite a long time to just kill this one ghost because until you get the upgrades, they've got an ass ton of health. So yeah, let's just spin on and what do you know? Shoot the ghosts. Same top-down perspective, still in this graveyard. We're on part 4, and by the way, this one's a 33-minute video, and we're still in this same boring, repetitive graveyard. Spin on, Yep, more shooting of the ghosts. Spin on. More shooting of the ghosts. On to part 5. And we will spin on and... Oh, we got a sewer level this time. Or, you know, kind of a sewer. It's rustic old basement buildings. And look at how lovely that ghost looks. It doesn't it? It's really fucking generic. But let's spin on. 35-minute video. PKE meter. Finding ghosts. More walking around with a PKE meter, finding ghosts. I think we're about to find a ghost if we go up here. Yep, there's the ghost. Now we can shoot some more ghosts. Shoot them ghosts, Phil. Shoot them ghosts. Spin on. More shooting of ghosts. Spin on. Same shit. Same shit. Spin on, and now we're fighting the boss. So, yeah, shoot the ghosts and then try and shoot the boss. Let's go to part 6. Again, 35 minutes. Quite a long video. Here we are, shooting some more ghosts. And this is all there is to it. Like, there's nothing else that comes up. Every so often you can find, like, a hidden medkit with your PKE meter, but it's just more find the ghost, shoot the ghost, find the ghost, shoot the ghost, get money, buy upgrades, find the ghost. It repeats forever. But yeah, so, spin on, shooting ghosts. Spin on, more shooting of the ghosts. Spin on, back to looking for the ghost with the PKE meter. Spin on, shooting the ghosts. That's a boss ghost, which is obviously going to have a lot more health, but it's still the same. Just shoot it till it's dead. Spin on, and we get a cutscene telling us to go to part 7. And this is where Phil decided to rage quit because he couldn't take it anymore. Don't blame him. So yeah, like, we go in and we're looking for the ghost with the PKE meter. Nothing new there. Spin on. Still looking. I mean, that was only a small spin. Let's go to 11 minutes. There we go. Shooting the ghost. Spin on. Yep, more ghosts. Spin on. More ghosts. Spin on. And that's the end, and that's where he's like, I can't do this shit anymore. It's just a repetitive shit. So that was 5 minutes of me just literally showing you highlights of Phil's thing. That was 7 parts, and it was about 4 hours, or 3 hours, I can't remember. No, 7 parts, 30 minutes each, that's about 210 minutes, that's 4 hours. But yeah, so that's 4 hours. This game lasts for another hour beyond that, and it's the same repetitive shit. So that's your brief highlights, just to show you that nothing changes. I'm going to be putting my own footage up on the screen in a minute, but I just wanted to give you a general idea of this shit doesn't change. This guy's done 7 parts of it. This shit doesn't change at all. So we're going to get back into the review now. As I just said there, each video is 15 to 40 minutes long. So if we take 5 or 10 minutes off the longer ones and add them to the shorter ones, we can get a nice round number. So that's 7 parts that are roughly 30 minutes each. That's 210 minutes of the same repetitive, boring gameplay, which converts to 4 hours. 4 hours of nothing but this. Holy shit, that's repetitive. And that's not the end. Phil went for 4 hours, and as you saw, he rage quit. As did many others. While doing some research on this game and watching a few others play it to see if anyone could find even the shred of good in it, it seems not, as there are many that have started it, but none have ever finished it on YouTube. Only one person, that is Rabid Retrospects, posted the ending online just to save everybody the trouble of playing this shit and to show off how bad the ending is. And wow. Just wow. First off, the boss is not some super badass demon like Gozer. It's just some bigger generic bootleg of the Stay Puft Man. Then the ending scene, well, here it is in its entirety.
Later, Rowan.
Translation? Never again, you end-of-the-world loving stalker freak.
Well, the ladies should be back from Washington by now.
Too bad they missed all the fun.
Too bad for them. They had their turn. This time, we got to off the ghost and save the city so the mayor can take all the credit.
Yeah!
What do we do now?
What else? A ridiculous-looking victory jump and then freeze.
For the first time in my life, I'm fucking speechless. I got nothing.
And I am. My jaw is hanging wide open. I gotta go. I gotta go.
All right, I gotta leave. Okay.
John, we just started. Come on, man.
Listen. There's a lot to see in this life. Not wasting it here.
And you know what? John Tron's right. See this? Fuck the Ghostbusters review. I mean, look, I'm recording this Ghostbusters review. Look how nice it is outside. Look at how lovely of a day it is outside. Fuck it, you know what we're going to do? Look, I've switched it on. I'm going to go... See that field? That field out there? I bet that's ripe with all kinds of bug Pokemon. As is that forest. So you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna take our camera right now. We're gonna walk into that field there, which is that field there, and into the forest. Come on. We're gonna go see if we can find some Pokemon. Fuck Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters shit game. I'm sick of recording that Ghostbusters game. I'm pissed off with that Ghostbusters game. Look, we're gonna go find some shit. I'm gonna go get some shoes on, and we're gonna jump into the back garden. We're gonna find that Pidgeotto. Holy shit! Don't know if you can see that, focus please. Pidgeotto's just showing up on screen. Let's do this. Let's do this, team. Me and you. Right. Give me a second. One's on. You know what? Change of plan. We can't actually get into the back via the back garden. We're gonna have to come round the side to the forest. That's exactly what we're gonna do. But look, guys, let's get in the shade. Let's get in the shade. We have found a Pidgey. We found a Pidgey. We have caught the Pidgey. Don't crash. Don't crash. Don't crash. Don't crash. We did it. We did it, team. Isn't this a lot better? Isn't this a lot nicer than that crappy Ghostbusters game? Pidgey caught. That is a Pidgey right there. We should name him. Tell me what I should name that Pidgey. I can't name that Pidgey. I've got a Pidgeot though. Let me just tell you about Pidgeot while I get back into my map here. But tell me what you think I should name a Pidgeot. I will name my Pidgeot something for you guys, because I have got enough Pidgeys to evolve into a Pidgeot, and I have evolved it into a Pidgeot. But yeah, so this is us now. I know you can't see it really because the sun is very, very bright. The sun is absolutely scorching, and you can't really see it. And I don't really want to show, you know, too much of where I live, because, you know, Keemstar is probably lurking, ready to dock someone, so we're just kind of staring at the ground, stare at the road. But, you know, if we get into a side street and just look up at the sky, you know what, I'll flick it up to the sky while looking at the phone. Look at that. Look at that. That is a clear ass day. Beautiful trees, well, you know, maybe not that pylon, but beautiful trees. Sun is shining, lovely. It is a fucking gorgeous ass day. Back to the game a minute. But I'm in my t-shirt and I'm just gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk around. We're gonna walk around, find some Pokemon. There is a Bellsprout. I need quite a few Bellsprouts. Not found any of them to evolve into a Weeping Bell yet, except for the one. I found the one to register in the Pokedex, but yeah. I'm just going to walk around for a while, find some Bellsprouts, catch some Pokemon, and, you know, I know you were all here for the final verdict, so I'm going to give off my final line, which is about the price, because there's something about the price, but yeah, I'm going to give off the final line about the price, and I'm going to then do the final verdict, so see you later on tonight when I do the final verdict, because you can be sure as shit that I am not going to finish that Ghostbusters review right now, because that game's so bad, pissed me off. We're in some shade though, so now you can actually see it. But yeah, so that's the thing. Oh, Bellsprout's disappeared. No, yeah, Bellsprout's still there. It's still got that weird 3-step update, but yeah, back to the final verdict. Okay, I'm back. my phone is out of power. It drained the battery, so I've come back to put it on charge. But it's still a lovely day. Still absolutely, it's so hot. It's a beautiful summer day. You shouldn't be watching this. You should be all out there on this summer day. 34 degrees according to the phone's temperature thermometer thingy. But you know, I might be screwing up because all the battery power and processing power is going to Pokemon Go. But whatever. That's it. There's nothing else. Absolutely nothing. It's the same repetitive shit that never falters or changes for 5 hours. No ambient, oh, look how creative the spellcasting is. No Ratchet and Clank or Kirby's Planet Robobot. Look how creative the levels are. No Overwatch. Look how colourful and personality filled and fun the characters are. Nothing. It's the same bland, boring shit from beginning to end, with no creativity or imagination. Oh, and as for the graphics, I don't know who you're hiring to do the graphics, Activision, but just stop, okay? It's clear from this side-by-side that, like your Turtles movie tie-in game, this kind of tie-in game, but not really, as the ladies were not around or did not want to be in the game, and I don't blame them, uses the exact same comic book art style. And I'm sorry, Activision. Well, I'm not, but you don't get the right to use that art style, as we all know that you stole it from Beautiful Joe, as you can see here. And Beautiful Joe was a great game and knew how to use the comic book-like art style to its fullest effect. You don't. So, stop, as you can't make good games. Oh, but I did fail to mention the best part. I think I'll let Phil tell you.
Fighting the same enemies over and over, the same gameplay from the beginning of the game, the middle of the game, the end of the game. There's no way you could justify this is a $60 game.
$50 fucking dollars. $50. Yeah, they're trying to charge a full AAA price for something that is nothing more than a shitty phone game at best. But Spyro, you paid £40 for it. You're just as bad. Yeah, the hell I did. No, I got this out of the pre-owned bin. Yes, it's brand new and it's already in the pre-owned bin. Everybody already knows how bad this is, and it's in there for £10. And that's too much. Luckily, I know the owner, so with his discount, I got it for 6 whole English pounds. And once again, even that's way too much. Well, maybe. That might be about the right price if you're obsessed with the Ghostbusters theme and you want to hear it on repeat for 5 hours while playing a shitty or top-down shooter proton pack minigame that feels basically like a crappy phone game. So, my final verdict for Ghostbusters 2016 is an absolute failure with a 0 out of 5. There's nothing here for anyone. The graphics are just uninspired, Beautiful Joe knockoffs, as they don't know how to use the art style effectively. The gameplay is like something you would see come off of Steam Greenlight, that is extremely bland and boring and repetitive to the point of absolute frustration or depression. The areas are uninspired and start to feel very repetitive and monotonous, as does the gameplay, and there's just nothing of note. Now, you might say, yeah, but it should get at least a 1, you know, it's perfectly competent, it does not break or have any bugs, and that's true, but at the same time, it puts you in this horrible mindset. By the time I was halfway through, I was begging for something to fuck up or break. I was desperate for a bug to happen. Just something, anything. A broken texture, a broken face, just something different. It's that repetitive that I was literally screaming for a glitch just to have something different to break up the sheer depression of how repetitive this is. And it's because Ghostbusters has succumbed to Activision's horrible, poisonous game-making ways of games are not art, they're product. Way Forward, Toby Fox, Blizzard, as controversial as he is, Scott Cawthon, and even Nintendo when they're not fucking it up with shit like Color Splash, all of them create games as pieces of art, almost like an author would create a book. As mentally advanced Celestia puts it,
an author places some of themselves in a book, but the reader withdraws something of their own perception as well.
And with games, the same is supposed to be true. Let's take Undertale as its example. We look at Frisk as gender neutral. It can be either a boy or a girl, and as the latter half of the line says,
but the reader withdraws something of their own perception as well.
Which you do. When you set up Frisk, you enter your name. You make Frisk a boy or a girl, not from what the game tells you, but from your own perception. And as you travel through the underground, everyone you meet has their own individual sound. And those sounds correlate different with each reader's brain. The high-pitched buzzing of Papyrus means some will see him with a voice of Skeletor, as Skeletor was also high-pitched. Others might see him with a slightly more, still high-pitched but more posh voice, like the voice of the good shit meme. You know, good shit, that's some good shit right there. All of these companies, when creating the worlds, don't just do what Activision did here and create something purely as product. They create a world and they want you in on the fun. They want you to believe that where you are, like Scuttletown or Azeroth, is a real, breathing, lived-in world and you're a part of it. It lets you in on the joke and makes you feel welcomed as it wants you to be part of the fun. But there is none of that here. It's a soulless product that is full of cringy lines and outdated memes, as that's what the chart says sells. You're not there to be pulled into a world and have fun with the creative characters of the land. You're there to sit down and play for 5 hours, thus proving the chart did its job. No soul, no love, no time, no care, no fun gameplay, nothing. That's why it gets a 0 out of 5. It offers nothing. It has no reason to exist other than to make a few shareholders happy. And it's pathetic just how lightly Activision takes the art of making games by pumping out sequels every year and ruining that which we all try to hold dear. Because that's what the chart says. This game is not worth buying in any way whatsoever. It's not even worth pirating. It would be a waste of bandwidth or megabytes or whatever. If you're going to pirate anything, make it something like Captain Rainbow or Mother 3. Games that are literally unobtainable outside of Japan because executives don't think we know what Japan is. And those games have real time, effort and soul put into them. Also, Activision. I know you're as bad as Konami, and I know you're going to Content ID this video just to try and make a few extra pennies off my video. Well, sorry, but that's not happening, as after this line, I'm going to play Chains of Love while also playing Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door, which was one of the best RPGs of all time that actually had time, effort, soul and personality put into it. Something your company would know nothing about, thus ensuring the copyright deadlock, as if I can't win, then neither can you.